If you've driven along 6A in Yarmouth Port, you've undoubtedly noticed the beautiful building with the big white steeple. But the striking structure is not a church. It's actually one of Yarmouth Port's most treasured community hubs.
The Yarmouth New Church, which is no longer a church and not new at all, was originally built in 1870 by a Swedenborgian congregation. In 1998, a group of local citizens, some of who are the descendants of the people who built the church originally, decided that they really needed to take it over and restore it. So our Preservation Foundation was founded as a nonprofit, and since '98 has been restoring it bit by bit. We've rebuilt the steeple, we've restored the stained glass windows, we have just recently restored all the ceiling paintings, raising over $2 million independently through grants and private foundation money, so we can restore this building, and now it's a cultural destination.
It's unique in America. It's one of the most beautiful Gothic churches in New England, and it's unique particularly because the congregation had locked it up for the way they did, and it was allowed to just stay in a frozen time state. And as a result, places that didn't get renovated, where that wood didn't get upcycled and trashed and turned into something modern and upgraded, as people used to think it was in the 70s. This one was quietly locked away, waiting for the day that they opened it up and took it over, and then the Preservation Foundation did such an amazing job of realizing what they had.
In addition to funding needed repairs, the Yarmouth New Church Preservation Foundation has also hired one full-time staff member to help keep the doors open year-round and to expand the building's community offerings.
Some people have lived near here for many years but never were able to come in because the doors are always closed. So now we can have the doors open a lot more because we have someone whose job is here to sort of spread the word and welcome.
And although the foundation has made the space available for weddings and other large events, it's also become a well-known spot for up-and-coming musicians and artists who need a space to share their works in progress.
And spaces that are available to rent for creative people oftentimes are not accessible to people who are in the process of creating a creative project, because that takes a lot of cash. And so being a space that finds ways to work with local creatives to showcase what they're working on is exciting, not just for them, but also for the community to say, these people are all around you. And we are so blessed to live in a place where so many incredibly talented people live and create their work.
Inspired by the building's beautiful architecture, the Cape Cod Chamber Orchestra worked with the foundation and local historians to create an evening of music and staged readings called Cape Legends and Lore.
My whole big shtick is that I want to work across disciplines to bring music to different places on Cape Cod that traditionally doesn't have, professional classical music. And so we kind of just really connected and came up with this concept to do this Legends and Lore concert.
We've worked with the Historical Society of Old Yarmouth and then just some local writers who are going to be standing and speaking in between the music, similar to our Americana music series, where we have music of each different period in American history interspersed with little bits of the history that was motivating that music at the time.
What's really interesting is that this building is 1870, and most of the pieces that we're playing today are written around that period of time. When you think back to the end of the 19th century, what was popular music? Well, it was classical music. That's what people were listening to. There was no jazz really, or rock and roll, and no Taylor Swift yet. So it speaks to the fact that although it's a very long time ago when these pieces were written, they still have a effect on us.
Connecting the community with its local history and preserving the building for use by all continues to be the Yarmouth New Church Preservation Foundation's primary mission.
We want to make sure that history isn't something that you don't associate with your kind of living here and being vibrant here. And so for us, layering that meaning in Yarmouth and making sure that we're a part of that, knowing that it's going to be layered and layered on top by all of our grandkids, et cetera, is exciting for us. We want to kind of make sure that we maintain that timeline.
We're just working really hard to be welcoming and be open and have this place be seen, though it is a place that does require a certain reverence, that it's also a space that can be really loved and enjoyed.
The Yarmouth New Church Preservation Foundation is located at 266 Main Street on Route 6A in Yarmouth Port. For Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rosson.